going on with Gary Lineker? What is like?
Oh,
I'll be
Gary.
honest. I'll be honest. I don't
Uh,
want to watch Match of the Day if he's not on it. I don't watch it too much these
yeah, no,
days.
I
But
don't. Where they messed up is they got too big for their boots. They thought they could do Match of the Day without Gary. Gary's the mainstay of Match of the Day. A lot of
Puz,
people of a
Puz.
certain
Sorry, you don't.
generation.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go
Sorry to
ahead.
interrupt you. We're the everyday fan. We ain't got hidden agendas. Who are they?
Yeah,
Who are the they you're talking about?
BBC,
Thank you.
the
There
British
we go.
broadcast.
There you go.
Uh, what does the C stand for again? Is it channel?
I think it's British Broadcasting, BBC.
Oh, British Broadcasting. Yeah, sorry. My bad. Um,
That's
yeah.
cool.
So I just feel like they thought, because look, there's a whole decade of kids of football
Generation.
fans,
Yeah,
yeah, who only know Gary Lineker as Match
I
of the
don't know
Day.
any different.
Same way, there's a whole like 2 decades worth of human beings who knew Arsene Wenger as Arsenal.
Yeah.
Um, we all thought Arsene Wenger was named after Arsenal. Arsenal was named after Arsene Wenger. So BBC, I feel like they're them trying to censor Gary Lineker was the wrong move.
Mhm.
Uh, they didn't like his political statements, but as John Barnes said in his interview to Sky Sports, when it came to the
Sky
World Cup,
News. Sky
it
News.
was Sky News, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
When it came to the World Cup, BBC was all over the gaff when it came to political issues in regards
Yeah,
to
true.
Qatar. So it's like you can't be one rule for them and one rule for someone. Like you got if Gary's allowed to speak on that at the World Cup, then
Yeah.
he should be allowed to speak on whatever he can speak on in regards to
To this
the home
country.
front. Yeah, so
I think
I do respect all the other presenters saying, yeah, boom, you lot trying to do something to Gary. We're not doing nothing on the BBC. So it's like they've put themselves in a untenable position where they
yeah.
have to backtrack, look stupid, and now they're gonna have to, pardon my language, kiss his ass again and be like, yo, okay, cool, let's come back to the drawing table and let's get you lot back on. Because Ian Wright straight away came out and said, yeah, boom, I'm not doing it. Alan Shearer came out and said, boom, I'm not
Boom, not
doing it.
doing it. Yeah,
Jermaine
yeah, yeah.
Janus just came, I'm not doing it. And it's just like,
I think Danny
yeah,
Murphy's
what are
even
you?
piped up as well now, but don't
Yeah,
quote me on that.
yeah,
Yeah, no, no. I didn't really pay. It's only got brought to my attention more recently. So what I'm reading up on it as well, obviously, following John's Barnes interview, Gary's comment was very much misconstrued, and I think that's my issue. We live in a world of opinions, and everyone is entitled to an opinion. But let's get it very, very clear: it's an opinion, and
it's not that, Chris. It's just
and
personal. Like,
no, no,
what the
no, no,
hell?
no. Yeah, what they've done is so silly. I'm trying to make a point that varying opinions. What I'm basically trying to say is there isn't right and wrong. There is right and wrong in many things, but in some things, there's not really right and wrong. Don't get me wrong. If my opinion was, I'm gonna say something controversial. If my opinion was, um, something ridiculous like, do you know what? I was gonna say something silly. Let me not, because the world that we live in, etc. Let me just hold that there. Um, Gary Lineker's opinion was misconstrued. His message, I think, in my opinion, was about equality and diversity. And in no way did I think that he made the government or the Home Office look silly or stupid by his comments. It's just his opinion. You want to run with that now and go, that's not acceptable, that's not this, that's not whatever. You're leaving yourself open to so much criticism because Gary Neville didn't actually openly criticize the government. You know what I'm saying?
He just criticised the policy. To be
Thank you.
fair, he,
Thank
he
you.
criticised the policy, and obviously the government,
But
not the
he did
government,
mention,
but
obviously, the Germans, Holocaust did it. So it obviously touched a nerve. And it's like, Come on, guys.
I feel like that's a bit of a, let's twist the story kind of thing. Like they heard what he said and they thought, oh yeah, perfect opportunity. Let's twist the story. Let's turn people against Gary Lineker. Hasn't worked out. They're gonna have to, run back to him with their head stuck in between their tail,
Yeah.
or however this phrase goes. And it's at the end of the day, it shouldn't have been a talking point. It shouldn't have even been allowed to get to where it's got to. And now
Yeah,
he just
I
looks
agree.
silly.
I agree. And this is my point about opinions, Puz. You have to be so careful, bro. We're careful on here with what we say, but we've got a bit of a platform that we can express ourselves, so we're fortunate. But it's all down to opinion. Like everyone agreed with Gary. John Barnes, all the pundits all came out and said that Gary was what he said was right and it wasn't wrong.
It's not even about what he said was right. It's a freedom of speech thing.
It's a
He
freedom
should
of
be allowed
speech,
to say
exactly. To be
what
allowed
he
to
wants
say
to say on his
about
own platform.
about
It's
his
got
own.
nothing to do with the BBC.
And
It's got nothing to do with Match of the Day.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? He should be allowed to talk about the policies of his own country, right? Because guaranteed, we don't like other people talking about the policies of our own country, but we talk about the policies of other countries like it's nothing, right?
And the only drawback from that is, damn, I've lost my point. Sorry, go on.
No. I think we were both on the same page. Like, I think you just have to be so careful because someone's opinion, you can disagree, you can not disagree. But one thing you shouldn't be doing is reacting crazy. To axe him is nuts. We saw Jamie Carragher spit in the car, right? He spat
Yeah.
I think. Now,
Spat
the fact that it
around
was
the head.
caught on camera is a bit mad because the person who filmed it also got in trouble, rightly so. But eventually
Yeah,
he was
I
allowed
know.
back on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is you've got to be so careful. If you're going to knee-jerk react to certain things, that's mad. That's mad. Like, that is mad. That is mad. Forget the fact that he's a national icon and his position and all the rest of it. To axe him from the show completely is just stupid.
No, I didn't really ask him. They just what was the
If they
phrase they
no, but
used?
they axed him, bro. If they should have just suspended him, maybe. Pending investigation, Gary Lineker has been suspended from
Yeah,
that.
that's what they did. That's essentially what they did.
All right, okay,
They
fair enough.
suspended him. Just
Anyway, so
I
we've
didn't-
in
all the
in conclusion,
control-
do you support Gary Lineker? Do you think he
my
said anything wrong?
my thing is not a support of Gary Lineker. My thing is he should be allowed to say what he wants to say on his own platform. It's got nothing to
Fair.
do with me. Got nothing to do with the BBC. Let him say what he wants to say. He wasn't, bringing BBC into disrepute or anything. But I don't know what contract. To be fair, we don't know what contracts he signed with the BBC in the first place.
Yeah.
He knows what contracts he signed with the BBC. They tried to
Yeah,
tell him
no.
to apologize, and he said, "No, I'm not apologizing." And that's when they said, "Okay, cool. We're gonna have to take action and
Do what they need to do, but yeah,
the time being." But obviously, it's backfired now.
you trust the BBC, you trust the government, you trust them to make the right decision, right? Because obviously we're trusting in these people as our broadcasters, as our governments, as our whatever. And by the way, this is about one person, so I'm not trying to question the whole committee that runs the country. But what I am saying is I'm not for these knee-jerk reactions. I'm not. When I see a situation where something's happened and then people just react to it out of desperation or emotion, it makes me question their reaction. Was it the right reaction because you were quite emotional? And this just feels like that. This just feels like
I think
this
Gary
just feels like an ex. This just feels like a missus seeing a message on your phone, seeing it's a different person's name and going, "That's it. I want you out. I want you out. I don't care. This, that, whatever." And it's like, hold on a minute. It could be a work colleague. You know what I mean?
feel like the overreaction has come from because obviously we all know where Gary stands on the political spectrum.
Mhm.
I feel like this was people that don't like where Gary stands, thinking, okay, we're gonna make a point
Yeah, trying to make a
and
point.
we're gonna try and drag him, but obviously it's backfired,
Backfired.
and it's completely backfired, and it's like you're going to lose millions of views, which is going to affect your funding. For what reason?
This is my problem. I don't like it. I think the powers that be, you trust them to make considered decisions. When you're making these kind of flip floppy knee jerk decisions, and then it's creating this ruckus, it doesn't instill confidence.
And also, I don't want to. I don't want to make it seem like we don't care about the victims of the Holocaust. I don't know how they took, not they, but Jewish people took what Gary said. I can't speak for them.
Oh yeah, no, bro, I'm not Jewish,
Yeah,
and I don't know any personally. I don't know any. I don't really know any Jewish people to ask them. But even if I asked one Jewish person, doesn't necessarily mean that would represent all Jewish people.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
So yeah, look, like I say, it can get techie, and that's the problem. When you take 2 and 2 and get 12, you're the one who's got the problem, not the 2 and the 2. Do you get it? So